This is the Columbia Mammoth Creek 10-person cabin tent, and I'm going to show you how to set it up, take it down, and also how long it takes. Out of the box, you will be provided with 4 fiberglass poles and 2 longer and thicker steel poles, which are meant to make up the roof of your Columbia tent. You will also get 6 more steel poles for the walls of your tent, and 10 guy lines which are all pre-attached, and 19 steel stakes. To set up the Columbia 10-person cabin tent, first take everything out of the carry bag and lay the tent on the ground. If you want to, you can stake the tent out lightly in windier conditions. After unfolding the tent, put the roof together by first using these 4 fiberglass roof poles. 2 of them are blue in color and the other 2 are white. I usually insert the 2 blue colored fiberglass poles through the blue pole sleeves first. The pole sleeves are mainly black, but have these blue colored tips for easy identification. Here's what it looks like after both blue poles have been inserted through the pole sleeves. Next, insert these blue poles into the ribbed side of the pole connectors, which is basically the top of these Y-shaped pole connectors. The ribbed side is the side with these protrusions. The other side doesn't have these protrusions. Do the same for the other end as well. Here's what it looks like after inserting the blue poles. It'll form this oval-like shape. After, insert the 2 white fiberglass poles through the white-tipped pole sleeves. These are to go diagonally across the roof of the tent, and here's what it looks like after the fiberglass poles are in place. Then, locate the 4 pole connectors around the corners of the tent, and insert the ends of the white fiberglass poles into the ribbed side of each pole connector as well. They are to go into the top of the Y shape, with the other part of the Y to be left empty for now. To complete the roof setup, find the 2 longest white steel poles. These are to go along the width of the tent on the extreme right and the extreme left, like this. Remember the other empty part of the Y? That's where these poles are to go into. Here's what the 2 steel poles will look like when they're set up. Now it's time to attach the remaining 6 white steel poles. 2 of the poles have a black ring near the top of the pole, and the other 4 do not. Grab the 4 that do not have the black ring first, and these are to go into the 4 corners of your tent, like so. I found it difficult to attach the wall poles like so, but it was much easier when you get someone else to go inside the tent while doing so. With someone else inside the tent, I secured the 4 steel corner poles to the 4 corners of the Columbia tent. After, attach the 2 middle steel wall poles. These are the poles with the black ring near the top of the pole, which is to be attached to the pole connector. The other part of the pole has this protruding pin. This is the same for all 6 steel wall poles, and this is to be inserted into the ring at the bottom of the tent. Then attach these 6 pole clips on the body of the tent and clip it to the nearest wall pole. There are also 2 additional pole clips along the top of the width of both ends of the tent to help prop up the main body of the tent and make sure that it doesn't sag. Next, grab the rain flag and drape it over the tent. Take note that these circular parts of the rain flag are to be attached over the window, and these more angular parts are to be attached over the door. Also, the width of the tent has these red guy line attachments closer to each other than the length of the tent, so locate those and you'd know which is the length and which is the width of the tent. Then, clip the corners of the rain flag into the bottom of the tent with these buckle fasteners. There are 3 buckles at the front and 3 buckles at the back. After, stake out the tent. This Columbia 10-person cabin tent comes with 19 of these steel stakes. 8 of them are for the 8 guy lines around the tent, like so. Another 8 are for the base of the tent, 6 along the 2 lengths of the tent, and 2 along the 2 widths of the tent, so 8 altogether. Another 1 will be for the vent on this end of the tent. Next, go into the tent with these red fiberglass poles. There are 2 sets of these, and these are for the window. Fully assemble the pole first, then insert it through this Velcro strap in the middle of the window before pushing both ends of the pole into these pockets here. Here's what assembling the window will look like from the outside. There are 2 windows, so do the same for the other window as well. Finally, guy out the 2 windows with these pre-attached guy lines, and your Columbia tent is now fully set up. Please help me smash that like button if this has been helpful. I really appreciate it. So, how long does it take to set up the Columbia 10-person cabin tent? Here's a quick run-through of 2 people setting it up. To take everything out and unpack the tent flat on the ground will take about 2 minutes. Inserting the 4 roof poles through the pole sleeves and connecting them to the pole connectors will take 3.5 minutes. Adding the last 2 steel roof poles will take another 30 seconds. Connecting 6 steel wall poles plus attaching the 8 pole clips at the same time will take 3 minutes. Putting on the rainfly and securing it to the 6 buckles will take 2 minutes. Staking the tent out first with 17 stakes will take another 2 minutes. Finally, setting up the 2 tilted windows and staking them out will take 1 more minute, so altogether about 14 minutes for 2 people to set up this Columbia 10-person cabin tent. I also tried to set the tent up on my own, but I could not insert the blue roof poles without some help. When I tried to do it on my own, I think I put too much strain on these fiberglass poles and it started splitting. Even if I could attach these, I cannot attach these 6 steel wall poles without having someone in the tent to prop it up first. But in my experience, it takes about double the time for one person, so I estimate around 28 minutes for this tent, but I don't recommend doing so though. To take down this Columbia 10-person tent, I usually start first by removing the 2 red fiberglass poles from the 2 tilted windows. Here's what it looks like from the inside and also from the outside. After, I remove all the guy line stakes, so 4 from the front, 4 from the back, and 2 at each side. Then I unbuckle the rainfly at the 6 buckle fasteners, so 3 at the front and another 3 at the back before taking the rainfly down. After, I detach all the pole clips around the tent, 3 pole clips at the front, 2 at the sides, and 3 more at the back. Then I remove the 2 center steel wall poles by first removing the pin from the ring and then pulling the pole out of the pole connector. After, I remove the 2 front steel poles and then the back 2 steel poles. For the roof, I remove the 2 steel poles at the side first, followed by detaching the 4 fiberglass roof poles from the pole connectors and then removing them. Finally, I fold the tent up to wash the base and dry it completely before packing it up. To pack up the Columbia tent, I usually fold the tent in half, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. After that, I roll it up while trying to push as much air out as possible. To push out the most air, I recommend leaving the door open before taking the tent down so that air won't get trapped inside. I also usually leave all the windows open. I then use the provided straps to tie the tent up as tightly as possible before stuffing it back into the carry bag. After that, I fold the rainfly in half, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, roll it up slightly, and stuff it back into the carry bag along with the included poles and stakes. They both come in separate pole bags and stake bags. Here's how long it takes to pack up the Columbia Mammoth Creek 10-person tent with 2 people. Removing all stakes and taking down the tilted windows takes about 1.5 minutes. Unbuckling the rainfly and removing it takes another 30 seconds. Detaching all the pole clips and removing the wall poles takes 1.5 minutes. Removing all the roof poles takes another 1.5 minutes, and packing it up takes about 3.5 minutes. So altogether it takes about 8.5 minutes excluding washing. Here's a time lapse of me taking the tent down on my own, and getting the entire tent back into the carry bag takes about 16 minutes, so a little less than double the time. I'll leave 2 videos here for more info on this tent. One is a rain test on this Columbia 10-person tent, and the other is a complete review. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.